Alright, let's talk about military system. I have already introduced 3 types of military system. First is conscription. And what is conscription? Conscription is a compulsory enlistment for state service, typically into the armed forces. And I have already mentioned that in Taiwan, in the past, we have the military system of conscription. And every male adult and adult male, you have the obligation to enlist to serve in the army. But what's the problem? I think most of, and you can think, it's not. You think it's not according to one's autonomy. For example, if someone he doesn't like to serve in the army, even he said he can have another way devote himself to the country, but not in the army. Right? I have a very good friend, and he loved Taiwan, and he would rather like devote himself to Taiwan. I believe, no doubt, he is a patriot, but he suffered in the army, and so I remember he served only 3 months and he left the army. He quit. So because of I think because of his health. So you see, not everyone is suited for serve in the army. But the conscription doesn't care. This system asks everyone have to enlist in the army. So I think most of you say, no, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's violate one's individual right. So if you use the idea of libertarian, I believe libertarian doesn't like conscription. Then let's move on to another type of military system. We say it is called volunteer military. The volunteer military, that means to use the labor of market, is to restaurant, banks, retail stores, and other business. This job is performed by those who agree to do so in exchange for money and other benefits. So this kind of volunteer military, how do you think? If you from the perspective of libertarian, and libertarian will say, alright, so it's up to you, respect your individual right, and you can decide according to your own will, and you can decide whether you engage in the army or not, right? So it's your right. I believe maybe, especially many males in Taiwan will think so. Sounds good because it respects one's individual right, and one can decide whether to join the army or not. And finally, I have mentioned is mercenary. Mercenary is like outsourcing. That means use the professional soldiers but hire to serve in a foreign army. So can you imagine we hire people, we have foreign labor to help us, to take care of elder, to take care of our children, to take care of, to help us to work in some very heavy job. So why not? We can hire them to serve in the army, right? Maybe you doubt. Yeah, why you doubt? You are afraid. You say they only love money. They don't love the country. So you see, focus on the military system. We do not only ask people to serve in the army, but we still want some loyal citizen to serve in the army. So let's move back to volunteer military. What's the problem of volunteer military? I think there are 2 problems. First, who want to serve in the army? And according to the experience or the poor in America, they find that only some lower class people join in the army. So that means, for example, like I think similarly in Taiwan right now, I mean, maybe things a little bit different, but some people have similar problem. Usually, people don't like to enlist in the army. So if you set higher salary and you attract some people from lower caste, then here comes the problem. What's the problem? That means in a country, why only some poor people devote themselves, even sacrifice their lives to protect the country? And usually we know who decide to engage in the war. Some people in the higher caste, they want to protect their own interests. They want to protect their money. They want to protect their oil industry. You know what I mean? I mentioned the American. For example, like American people, they have this kind of plan and they think it's real because the leader even like, for example, like their leader decided to engage in the war, but most of the people sacrifice their lives in other countries, in Iraq, in Middle East. But they do not decide to engage in the war. It's their order, mandatory. It's not their own autonomy. So you see, volunteer military is not so volunteer. It's not really your own will, but depend on your background, on your status of your social caste. It's first problem. And second, some people claim that military system and you ask everyone to join in the military is a good way to develop the virtue, civic virtue of citizens. But right now you only ask only small portion of the country to serve in the army. Only men devote themselves, contribute themselves to protect the country. How about others? Others, they just blame or they just chase their own life. They don't care about common good. They don't care about the safety of the country. So how can you develop their civic virtue? Right? If they don't have civic virtue, one day, if the country really become in a crisis, who protect the country? Who have this kind of patriotism? Who has this kind of loyalty to the country? You only want to use money to attract people to join the military. Just like mercenary. It cannot work because military system need the characteristic not only because they want to do so, not only because of the power of market, but you also have to develop the power of loyalty, of civic virtue. So I think it's a good point, and the one who support volunteer military should consider. And finally, let's go back to conscription. So I don't know, how do you think? Right? According to the libertarian, they don't like conscription. But according to the utilitarianism, do you still remember utilitarianism? I think maybe yes or not. Why yes? What's the standard of utilitarian? The standard of utilitarian is seek the happiness of the greatest number, right? Do you still remember? If the conscription can seek the happiness of the greatest number, that means to protect the country well, then you might think, alright, conscription is much better. But maybe you say no, because most people they don't feel happy of the conscription, because no matter your son or your husband or your boyfriend go to the army, you feel terrible because you think maybe they can make more money, they can contribute more to the country, much better than serve in the army. So you see, we use libertarian, utilitarian, and to think about these kind of issues. I think it's a very good way to help her try to apply this kind of moral principle to certain concrete issues. But here, I mean, I'm just like Michael Sandel. I don't want to give you one solution or one correct answer. I'm sorry, no. I mean, for sure, I have my opinion. I have my opinion, like Michael Sandel has his own opinion. If you read carefully, you will find that Michael Sandel supports the value of virtue. So Michael Sandel might support conscription. So I just want to tell you, if you use this kind of standard and then try more principles and try to focus on this issue, you will find different advantage and disadvantage of this policy. So how do you think? I think it's a very good question, and I hope you reflect more on it. Thank you.